Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is when you hear this message, I pray that you are poised to receive, to accept, and to respond to words of wisdom. Ashe. So today belongs to Sango, Kabiesi. This is I greet you on the day, Eko Jojakuta. And so this morning, we performed our daily Ose, where we venerated Oya and Sango. And I give thanks that our offerings were all accepted. And in the process of carrying out the rites, Oya and Sango delivered a few messages that are so poignant and so essential that I think it's only right and appropriate that I share them with the broader community, because I know that they will be valuable to other folks as much as they are valuable to the people in our temple. One of the messages that Sango delivered to us this morning was the significance of a man having a plan. Sango emphasized the fact that you must be very focused and you must manage all of the resources and the people in your environment according to your plan. Sango talked about the man who had a great abundance of fortune and opportunity, but now was being called to manage those assets. So it's one thing to be blessed with all the blessings of life, to be blessed with wives, with children, with property, with horses, with cars, with whatever, right? But then once you have those things, you got to manage them. And you got to manage them according to the plan, right? So the challenge is to not deviate, but to adjust and incorporate everything into the plan. Keep doing the things that have worked for you. Keep doing the things that have served you. Keep doing the things that have put you into the position that you are. Even though all your blessings are going to now start to compete for your time. They're going to compete for your attention. They're going to compete for your money. They're going to compete for your interest. Right? So in the beginning, when you just had a plan, it was easier for you to just focus on the plan. It was easier for you to just execute the plan. But then now, as you know, if you look at it as a farmer, right, you just got this empty field. It's easy, it's obvious. You got to take the stones out, you got to pull the weeds out, you got to fertilize it, you got to moisturize it, you got to plant, and then things are starting to come out, and you got to keep the pests out. And all of these things are just really narrowly focused. But then you start to harvest, and then you get a bumper crop, and you got an abundance of all these different produce. And now you take them to the market, and you got to sell them, and you got to deal with the market, and you got to deal with the profits, and you got to reinvest, and you got to get new equipment, and all of these other things are now starting to crop up. You got a booming empire, and in the midst of all that, you got to still stay focused on the land. You got to make sure that you tend to the soil, right? You can't lose sight of the process that brought you this bounty in the first place, right? So this is the message that Sango delivered to us today, and particularly for men. And so that was one aspect of the message. Another dimension of the message that Sango delivered to us was the significance of appealing to your paternal ancestors, that the answers that you seek, the resources that you need, the direction that is going to continue to compel you forward is going to come from your paternal lineage. And this is very significant because the resources, Sango says, have been hidden or they've been denied you. Somehow it's obscured. You don't have a direct pathway to these resources. Right. And this is the in many ways, the essence of Sango's identity. We know that Sango is a great king. We know that Sango has the voice of authority. We know that Sango is formidable amongst all the deities. But we also know that part of Sango's problem, part of Sango's instability is his questionable identity. Who is Sango's mother? Where does she come from? Well, who is Sango exactly? Right? And there's several verses where they go on. It even got to the extent that they call Sango a slave, right? And then Sango always has to come back and vindicate himself. He's got to come booming from the heavens and let them know you can get it if you want it, but you don't want it. So Sango is having to, in many ways, prove himself and demonstrate his prowess and his authority because there's some questionable aspect of his paternal lineage and his identity. Does he fit in? Where does he fit in? Right? So Sango said that you've got to appeal. You got to solve that mystery for yourself. As a man, you got to solve that mystery. No matter how obscure it is, you got to keep digging. You got to keep sifting. You got to keep sorting. You got to keep clarifying. You got to keep refining your identity according to your paternal lineage. And last but not least, Sango delivered the message of being ultra transparent with your children. Raising your children up, teaching your children and training them in the way that you want them to go. Don't leave it to chance. Don't, don't allow the children to make it up as they go along. You need to assume responsibility for who the children will be. You need to assume responsibility for putting in the structures and the strategies and the techniques that will enable and ensure that your children go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4, according to the vision that you have for their lives. Okay? And so this is ultra important because as much as it is for the children, it's going to be for you as well, because the best way for you to learn something is for you to teach it. So the best way for you to solve your identity question is to teach it to your children. The best way for you to solve the question about how to implement your plan and how to make sure that in the wake of success and as the plan starts to yield bounty and the plan starts to yield all these different resources, the best way to show for you to master that process of managing those resources is to put systems in place that ensure that your children also learn it. Okay, so it's going to crystallize for you how things are done, why things are done in a certain way, and what the real significance of your approach, your identity, your methodology, as it were, is for you and for future generations. And so I really appreciate this message because in so many ways I have lived it and I continue to live it. But I also know that in the process of living it, that there are many other men who are walking the same or a very similar path. And so I pray that we would all be able to follow Sango's example and embody the type of leadership and the type of responsibility for who we are and who our future generations will be. Because even though we like the idea of expressing power as authority and expressing power as command and expressing power as control, the real essence of demonstrating our power is through service. When we assume responsibility for solving problems, then we tap into the true essence of what it means to be a man of consequence, to really exude and embody the deepest level of power. Simply looking at circumstances that are a part of our plan. This is the way I'm going. This is what I'm doing. This is who I am. And this is a problem that I meet along the way. I'm going to solve that problem. Oh, I've brought these people into my orbit because of the gravity of my life in this chapter. I've brought these people into my circle. I've attracted these people. I've recruited and pulled these people to me. And in the process of now managing these people in their lives and the circumstances surrounding them, oh, this is a problem. Okay, I'm going to solve that problem. Oh, I'm going to solve that problem. I'm going to solve. So this is the real crux of your demonstration of power and authority. It's about service. It's about solving problems. Okay. And so that is what I'm taking from the lesson that Sango has delivered to us today. And I'm certain that as we continue to venerate Sango and we continue to align ourselves with the principles of Sango's life, and we become more sensitive to the insights that Sango's life experience provides, that we will continue to elevate and we will continue to emanate more of that bright light that is synonymous with Sango, because we do praise him as the brightest light, the one who has fire in his eyes, fire in the mouth, fire from the rooftop. Sango is the brightest light because of the way he shows up in the world. So I pray that Sango will continue to empower you to show up in more authentic ways as a problem solver, as a leader, and as a provider of resources for yourself and those who you're destined to serve. Of course, this is a message for the leaders. If you want to use what you have in order to help make the world a better place and create a positive influence in your life and in the environment that you live, then I want you to find out how Oloye Obafemi Origuwa and the Orisha Lifestyle Academy can help you take your practice and your life to the highest level. Visit me at obafemio.com or orishalifestyle.com, and let's start helping you live the medicine that will heal your life and heal the lives of those who you're destined to serve. I look forward to working with you. Bye for now. Odabo.